First up is milk chocolate. Walk into almost any supermarket, and this is the chocolate you'll see the most. It's smooth, creamy, and sweet because it's made by combining cocoa solids, cocoa butter, sugar, and milk. But here's a surprising fact. For thousands of years, chocolate wasn't sweet at all. The ancient Maya and Aztecs drank cacao as a bitter drink, often mixed with spices instead of sugar. Everything changed in the 1800s when European chocolatiers began experimenting with milk. That simple idea transformed chocolate from a luxury drink into the creamy chocolate bars millions enjoy today. Here's another fact most people don't know. The smoother texture of modern milk chocolate comes from a process called conching, where chocolate is mixed for hours or sometimes even days to create its silky feel. The longer it's conched, the smoother it becomes. But while milk chocolate is famous for sweetness, some people wanted chocolate with a much stronger cocoa flavor. And that's where things get darker. Meet dark chocolate. Unlike milk chocolate, dark chocolate contains more cocoa and much less, or sometimes no, milk. That gives it a richer, deeper flavor with a slight bitterness that many chocolate lovers enjoy. Here's a myth worth busting. Many people think the darker the chocolate, the healthier it automatically is. Not exactly. A higher cocoa percentage usually means more cocoa and less sugar, but quality still depends on the ingredients and how the chocolate is made. Some dark chocolate contain 70% cocoa. Others go all the way up to 90% or even higher. The higher the percentage, the more intense the taste becomes. For some people, it's delicious. For others, it's simply too bitter. But the next chocolate is even more surprising. It looks like white chocolate. Yet technically, many experts say it isn't chocolate in the traditional sense at all. Now we arrive at the most debated chocolate of them all, white chocolate. Its creamy color surprises many people. But here's the biggest twist. White chocolate contains no cocoa solids. Instead, it's made from cocoa butter, sugar, milk, and vanilla. That's why it tastes rich and creamy without the deep chocolate flavor found in milk or dark chocolate. Here's something most people don't know. Cocoa butter comes from the exact same cacao bean used to make dark chocolate. During processing, the cocoa butter is separated from the dark cocoa solids. The butter becomes white chocolate, while the solids are used to make milk and dark chocolate. This is why many chocolate lovers argue about whether white chocolate is real chocolate. Legally, in many countries, it is considered chocolate as long as it contains enough cocoa butter. Whether you love it or hate it, white chocolate proves that one tiny cacao bean can create completely different flavors. But what if chocolate wasn't brown? Or why? What if it was naturally pink? Meet ruby chocolate. When it was introduced in 2017, people thought it had to be dyed. It wasn't. Ruby chocolate gets its beautiful pink color naturally from specially selected ruby cacao beans. No artificial coloring is needed. Its flavor is just as unusual. Instead of being deeply chocolatey, ruby chocolate has a light, fruity taste with a gentle berry-like tang. Here's something surprising. Ruby chocolate wasn't discovered by accident. After years of research, chocolate makers found a way to preserve the bean's natural pink pigments during processing. It became known as the fourth type of chocolate, joining dark, milk, and white chocolate. But while ruby chocolate focuses on color, the next type focuses on one thing only: making chocolate cheaper. This is compound chocolate. It may look almost identical to regular chocolate, but it's made very differently. Instead of using expensive cocoa butter, compound chocolate replaces it with vegetable fats, such as palm or coconut oil. That one change makes it much easier to produce and much less expensive. Here's why food manufacturers love it. Real chocolate needs careful temperature control to stay shiny and crisp. Compound chocolate doesn't. It melts more easily during production, doesn't require tempering, and is much simpler to work with. That's why it's commonly used for chocolate-coated biscuits, ice cream bars, candy coatings, and bakery decorations. Here's the twist. Many people eat compound chocolate every week without even realizing it. It looks similar, but the taste and texture are quite different from premium chocolate. And speaking of premium, next chocolate is the one professional chocolatiers trust the most. It's smoother, shinier, and designed to create some of the finest desserts in the world. Now we reach the chocolate trusted by professional chefs. This is Couverture Chocolate. At first glance, it looks just like any other chocolate bar. But inside, there's one important difference. Couverture contains a higher percentage of cocoa butter than regular chocolate. That extra cocoa butter gives it a silky texture, a beautiful shine, and a clean snap when you break it. Here's something most people never notice. Before using couverture, chocolatiers carefully temper it, heating and cooling it in a precise way so the cocoa butter forms stable crystals. That's why luxury chocolate have that glossy finish and satisfying crack. This is the chocolate you will find in handmade truffles, elegant desserts, and high-end pastry shops around the world. But even premium chocolate can tell completely different stories, depending on where the cacao was grown. Luxury chocolate isn't expensive because it contains gold. It's expensive because of rare cacao, expert craftsmanship, limited production, and beautiful presentation. Some luxury collections sell for hundreds of dollars per box. In some cases, each piece is hand-painted, filled with rare ingredients like saffron or vanilla from Madagascar, and crafted in very small batches. The price isn't just for the chocolate. It's for the artistry behind every piece. And here's the surprising part. Many professional chocolatiers will tell you that the best chocolate isn't always the most expensive. Sometimes, a simple, well-made dark chocolate bar delivers the most unforgettable flavor. Before we finish, let's bust 3 common myths. 1. White chocolate isn't real chocolate. Not always true. If it contains enough cocoa butter, many countries legally recognize it as chocolate. 2. Dark chocolate is always healthy. Not necessarily. It usually contains more cocoa and less sugar than milk chocolate, but nutrition still depends on the recipe and portion size. 3. Expensive